Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Chuck Graham Show. Thank you for stopping by. And if you want to support the show, you can support the show at charlesgraham.com. That's charlesgraham.com. We are going to do some, I'm going to build a website where you can log on and get additional shows, or you can get more content, early content, that sort of thing, for subscription based, where we can talk about more stuff that we couldn't put on YouTube. We can put it on Gab and Rumble, and Rumble's pretty good. The only thing that concerned me when I was watching Rumble is that they're a Canadian country, and they're a Canadian company, and they having all these weird laws over in Canada. But I don't think that's going to affect Rumble abiding by U.S. laws. I don't think that'll affect them. I hope not, anyway. But it did give me pause. Probably unnecessarily gave me pause, but it did give me pause. So, well, let's get into it. Let's look at the news. Well, Tucker Carlson had something, the weirdest, he called it found the weirdest video he's ever seen in a while. And he's talking about Microsoft. I mean, you can listen to this. I mean, we can listen to it a little. Well, I mean, it's just the weirdest stuff. I mean, I think he's right. That's the weirdest shit that I've ever seen. And there he is on there too. Here's another. Yeah. Oh, it's awful. Who cares? Okay, that's all I can take. Anyway, but you get it. That was a video, internal video from Microsoft. And I'm not going to show the video. I'll put the link in the description. You can go watch it if you want. But I showed some sound. I couldn't get OBS to work correctly because the camera looked like crap. But anyway, the fact of the matter is Tucker was right. That's the weirdest damn video ever. But and if you look at some of the other stuff that's going on today, I don't think that's the weirdest thing that's happening in today's society. Fox News, Pennsylvania woman allegedly placed baby's body inside bedroom wall. Okay, allegedly. Did she drywall over it? And I don't mean to be, insensitive, but that's crazy. That's our top news stories for today. Then you got one here that says China says country willing to work with the U.S. toward win-win cooperation. I really believe that Bill Maher is correct. We are a silly people. You got people thinking that somehow or another China's going to have our best interest. Did they forget about the pandemic that we're supposedly still in? I will tell you this: after the midterm elections, that pandemic will be over. I just don't see it. But I wanted to read those two headlines, well, and the crazy video that Tucker put out, and let you listen to that. Microsoft's crazy, and I knew that this morning when I did an update on my computer, and it was asking me for a pen. And it took me literally an hour and a half. And I'm a computer guy. I had to reopen my Microsoft account because I closed it because I don't like Microsoft. And I know what they're doing. I'm not stupid. That shit calls home all the time. It probably gives my information. And so I did a local password on my computer. To hell with Microsoft account. Nope. So, and I didn't realize I had it set up for Microsoft account. And then when it updated, bam, maybe pick a pen. I didn't have a pen. So hopefully it don't do that again. But we'll see. But anyway, I knew Microsoft was nuts when I had to do that this morning. But when I watched that internal video from Tucker, that's just crazy. I mean, why are employees being subject to that kind of, I'm a white man and I wear a polo. Who gives a shit? Can you program? Are you doing your job? I mean, Bill Maher is right. We are really a silly people. And I don't mean to rant on multiple things and multiple fronts today, folks, but we are really a silly people. I mean, we can't even determine what gender somebody is. Hey, I got an idea for you. XY chromosome, male, XX, female. There you go. There's two genders. It's not fluid, and it's not a lie. It's science. So are we going to follow the science or are we not going to follow the science? But I tell you what it is doing, and I'm not going to get on a rant on gender, but I will say this. It's a sad day when we can't determine that and we can't identify that someone that's transgender has a psychological condition, because those people are committing suicide at a rate of 42% higher than heterosexuals. They have a psychological disorder that's not being treated, and normalizing it is causing those people harm because they can't get the psychological help that they need because everybody's normalizing it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's my opinion. It's my inference to it, I guess. But, and I know you have to say allegedly when you're reading an article, or because, you know, you're innocent until proven guilty. But pimps a woman allegedly places baby's body inside a bedroom wall. I'm just going to infer that somebody in the household did it, and maybe she had postpartum depression. But if we keep going in this country, that won't even be a crime. I mean, late-term abortions, you can stab it in the head, stab the baby in the head if it's still got its feet in the vagina, and that's a real thing. That's actually a real thing, and that's a disgusting thing. We've come to a bad place in this country where our morality is seriously in question. My body, my choice, but yet you're going to force a vaccine on children where there's only been, last I saw, and this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, was 498 deaths in children for COVID. Why in the shit are they taking a vaccine? More kids die from the flu than that. It's not deadly to kids. It's strange to me. Anyway, but what's so funny is that, like I said, we're silly people. That's just the way it is. And to think that, and I'm going off the news today, and I wanted to pick 3 articles. That was in it. I wanted to rant about 3 articles. Do we actually think China's going to have our best interest? Really? We know it come from their lab. We know we funded it. We know Fauci's lied. And we know nobody's going to be held accountable. I really believe that. I don't think anybody's going to be held accountable. I don't think John Durham is going to indict Hillary Clinton. I don't think that Peter Strzok's going to get indicted. It would shock me. It would put faith back into my disheartening of our country, but I don't think so. I think they'll get these low-level, expendable people. Maybe Peter Strzok. Maybe McCabe. But none of the big players. Hillary Clinton's not going to jail. She's not going to get indicted. It's not how this works in this country. Adam Schiff promoted that shit worse than anybody. He's not going to get indicted. And I watched a news article on him just the other day talking about, I forget the girl that was interviewing him. She's dark-headed. I want to say it was ABC. And she basically told him, "You've lost your integrity." And I thought his eyes were going to pop out because he the way he looked at her. Well, the integrity of this question. No, Adam Schiff, you knew the dossier was not real. You knew it was a hoax. The FBI knew it was a hoax. Hell, everybody knew it was a hoax. They couldn't find anything on Donald Trump, but God dang it, it wasn't because they didn't look. But what Donald Trump did to this country, and did for this country, he shined a freaking mag light onto the corruption of the Republicans. You got 13 of them in the Senate. Lindsey Graham is the top one. Mitch McConnell's the other one. They need to go. This infrastructure bill is not an infrastructure bill. It's a paving of the Green New Deal, which is fucking insane, people. I mean, they've been saying since the damn 40s that we were going to run out of oil. We got more damn oil reserves, and we were actually exporting oil before this dipshit got in office. But the point being is this: everything these people say are fucking lies, or they turn out to be lies. I mean, it makes no sense. Everything from climate change to oil reserves to all of it's ended up being a lie. My last show, I posted a Associated Press article talking about we were going to be underwater by the year 2000. It was published in 1989. Well, turns out this shit's been going on since the 40s. Article after article you can read that they've been predicting climate change and this, and oh my God, we're going to be underwater. It's warming up. It's heating up. All it is a mechanism of fear to control you. That's it. There's nothing we can do about climate change. Nothing. And here's why I say that. Especially if we think we can by being carbon neutral and we're gonna have virtue and we're gonna be the person of the country that fixes it all. Okay. It's like this. It's like you live in a neighborhood, right? You live in a great neighborhood. It's got a manicured lawn. You edge every weekend. You get out there with your clippers and your garden and you do all sorts of different things, right? Right. And here comes your shitty neighbor that hangs an engine block in the tree, pulls it out of his 1962 Chevrolet, and you live in a neighborhood that doesn't have an HMO. Or HOM, what is it? Homeowners Association? Homeowners, yeah. Anyway, whatever it is. I don't like them anyway. And I forget the acronym, so forgive me. HOA, Homeowners Association. So anyway, he hangs his engine block in the damn tree, right? He's working on his car every weekend. There's oil stains in his driveway. What do you think that does to your property value? What does that do? And what do you think you're going to be able to do about it? My point being is China's polluting the fucking world over there just nonstop with no regulations, no nothing, and they don't care. And we think we're going to save the planet by our little footprint when you got someone 10 times polluting more, 10 times more than we are. I mean, they're just negating everything that we're trying to do. It's all a farce, is my point. It's a ruse. And it's like I tell people all the time. It's kind of like seatbelts. Do you think the government actually gives a shit whether or not you wear a seatbelt? No. I'll answer it for you. It's rhetorical. Here's what they care about. They care about the money the seatbelt tickets are going to generate. It's another tax, folks. When you have quotas, and when I was a cop, I refused to write them. I wouldn't write them. You're a grown-ass man. You don't wear a seatbelt and get slung through the window and die. It's your damn decision. Not my damn decision, whether or not I'm going to police and nanny you to death. I got better things to do with my damn time. Do that. Oh, like spilled coffee all over the place. Anyway, I'll get that up in a minute. So the point being is this. Sorry for my rant. I'm just all over the place today. At Microsoft kind of pissed me off, having to get that fixed. But I'm glad if you stuck in this long, I mean, you're interested in the conversation. Kudos to you, and I appreciate you staying here. But my point being is this. Why do we keep trying to save the world when the world don't want to be saved? China's a communist fucking country. I'm going to tell you what you do. You want to bring China into line? Stop producing shit there. Stop it all. We turned farmers into billionaires because they make 50 cents a week because we can get our Walmart shirt. at $2. I mean, you don't think Walmart's cheap by accident, do you? I mean, it's sweatshop labor, dude. Just like Apple and all of the rest of them allegedly have sweatshop labor. Let me put that in there. And whether it's sweatshop labor or not, it's cheap labor. And do you think they care? No, they don't care. Let me give you an example. 270 billionaires. 270. When I did some research, received stimulus checks because their tax deductions and their NOL, net operating losses, that they can carry over from failed businesses, put them to be poorer than you, when in reality they're not poor. They have millions of dollars, but their tax deductions and their tax liabilities and their tax credits that they get and their NOLs, their net operating losses, because of whatever failed businesses, they didn't pay any taxes. So it triggered the IRS to send them stimulus checks. In reality, they're billionaires. I mean, you can look it up. Type into Google, 270 billionaires receive stimulus checks. I don't have time to look it up for you because I'm all over the place today. But it's amazing to me. Now, if you want to rein in corporations, if that's your goal, stop net operating losses. Cut them out completely. You want to generate capital, you want to generate money and tax revenue for America, cut out NOLs. Net operating losses. Amazon had a ton of it, didn't pay taxes for years. Reason? When a company takes such a loss, let's say that you have your company's in the red $100 million. Well, that's an NOL. That means you can carry that $100 million over to the next year, even though you're making record profits. And let's say you have $25 million in taxes you got to pay the government. Wow, you don't have to pay the government. You just write that off then now you got $75 million in NOLs. And it just keeps going and going until you run out of those NOLs, or you have some other failed businesses that you can pull back into that and have NOLs there. And that's another tax deduction. That's why rich people don't pay that much taxes. They do pay the majority, the 1% actually pay the 99% of the taxes. But they pay it on capital gains and stuff like that, but they also shed a lot of tax liability with NOLs. You want to lose your. If the Democrats wanted to lose their support from, say, Amazon and Apple and Google, kill the NOLs. That's why they'll open up different businesses. And I'm not an accountant, right? I'm spitballing this, but I do know about NOLs, and I do know that they're highly lucrative for businesses, and they love them, and it keeps them from having to pay taxes for years to come because they had such a loss that one time. Now, do I disagree with NOLs? I think if you did have a loss but you didn't really have that loss, It's a little bit more complicated, but I see the argument on both sides, right? I see why you would keep them because, well, you had a loss, and I also see why you get rid of them because even though the company had a loss, it's picked itself back up at this point. Now it's making record profits. Why should you give it this? Well, I can see the incentive to give it to them so that they stay in business and that sort of thing. But all I'm saying is, if you want to get the attention of big business, kill NOLs. Just saying. I don't think that would be prosperous. I think Trump's tax cuts were great. I think it helped businesses take profits and reinvest. And that's what you want. But I'm just saying, If the Democrats want to lose the support of big business, start mucking around with NOLs. But you don't never hear AOC and the squad talk about that. They know better than to talk about that. Their donors would no longer be donors. So, well, my rant today is over. And guys, I hope you liked the show today. If you did, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I doubt this is going to be on YouTube because I've said some things in there that they'll probably ban me for saying. So, but thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.